Hello and welcome back to another episode of Angel's Craft Closet. Today I'm going to be making this moose birthday card for my dad, who is a member of the moose, hence the moose image. There he is. I just love this stamp, it's very detailed. The base card is a piece of craft cardstock that's 8.5 by 5.5, an old olive for the base of a layer, a chocolate chip layer, and the stamped image is on another piece of craft cardstock. And I will need an old olive strip that is a little bit smaller for some grass I'll add later on. I scored the card at 4 1/4, so it's your basic A2 size card. And I am stamping the image on a piece of 4 3/4 by 3.5 craft cardstock. I'm using Timber Brown StazOn ink. This is a really detailed stamp, and I like StazOn ink because it provides a really crisp image, especially when you have a detailed stamp such as this. And I don't know if there's a brand name on this stamp. I had got it at a Rubber Stamp and Scrapbook Expo last spring. It was unmounted, but I bought it because my dad's into the moose. And here is a birthday wishes stamp that I'm using on the front of the card as well. This is from the Stampin' Up! Sincere Salutations stamp set. And I'm using that brown, Timber Brown StazOn again. Just to add some dimension around this layer, I'm going to sponge the edges just to make it stand up a little bit. And I'm going to do the same with that piece of old olive cardstock that I'm going to use for the grass a little bit later on. I wanted it to look a little bit more rustic and not so much something that you might see on a kid's card. Makes it look a little bit more masculine. So next I'm going to start assembling the pieces. The old olive background piece is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. The chocolate chip piece layered on top of that is 5 inches by 3 3/4. And in true live action fashion, that's my kitty Jedi. She likes to be up on the table because my craft lamp is very warm. And again, that top craft image is 5 1/2, or excuse me, is 4 3/4 by 3.5. There's my test image on the back. And there's a glitter glue pen. Even though the image was really crisp, I thought it looks flat, so I'm adding just a little bit of shimmer to some of the shaded areas, and it really makes the image pop up a little bit and gives it just a little bit of dimension. Pizza's here. And there's what the grass piece is going to look like when it's done.
Thank you.
So I just took, I'm taking the piece of green and I'm just cutting really thin strips all the way along the edge, probably about 3/4 of the way down. And then I'm going to take the paper snips and run them across the top, creating peaks and valleys to make the grass look more realistic. I'm just going to use my hands to fold forward and back some of these little strips that I've cut to create some dimension on that strip before I adhere it down. Now I am using my tape runner, but had I thought about it before I started filming the video, I probably would have just run a thin line of Tombow mono adhesive glue to the bottom of that, or excuse me, Tombow liquid glue to the bottom of the strip, that probably would have worked quite effectively. And then once that piece is down on the card, I'm just trying to pull up some of the pieces to make it stand up and add a little bit of dimension. But there's my finished happy birthday card for my dad. Happy birthday. And thank you for joining me again, and I hope to see you again soon.